Cosmic Avenger is a horizontally scrolling shooter developed by Universal Entertainment Corporation and released in arcades by Universal in July 1981. It is one of the first shooters with forced X-axis scrolling along with Konami's Scramble released earlier in the year. The final installment in Universal's Cosmic series, players take control of the Avenger space fighter and use bullets and bombs to fight enemy forces. The game was ported to ColecoVision as one of its launch titles in North America when the system was released in August 1982. Versions for other platforms were in development and advertised, but neither were officially released. The ColecoVision port proved more successful than the arcade original, garnering mostly positive reception from critics who praised the action, visuals, and sound effects. Cosmic Avenger is a game reminiscent of Scramble, Super Cobra, and Vanguard, where players take control of the Avenger space fighter craft, guiding it across a scrolling terrain and dodging obstacles, with the main objective of earning points by destroying enemy alien forces. The game is divided into 3 sections, each with its own terrain and obstacles. There is no intermission between sections. The game scrolls into the new terrain seamlessly. The game can be played by 1 or 2 players, alternating turns as each player's ship is destroyed. A joystick moves the ship in 4 directions, and buttons fire lasers and bombs to destroy spaceships, anti-aircraft missiles, tanks, and UFOs. A radar display at the top of the screen shows incoming enemies. The ship does not require a constantly depleting fuel supply to be replenished, which allows players to focus solely on the enemies. The enemies have specific behavior patterns and can crash into each other. As the game progresses, enemies act more aggressively and fire at a faster rate. An X station occasionally appears and, if shot, it destroys all enemies caught within its blast radius. If the player's ship is hit by enemy fire, crashes against a terrain, enemies or any explosion radius, a life is lost, and they will be respawned into the nearest checkpoint reached. Once all lives are lost, the game is over, although players can insert coins to continue playing without having to restart from the beginning. Cosmic Avenger was first released in arcades by Universal in July 1981 and became one of the first titles with forced horizontal scrolling alongside the earlier Scramble by Konami. The game runs on Universal's 8106 arcade board. The ColecoVision port from Nuvatech was one of the console's North American launch titles in August 1982, with a European release in 1983. Coleco announced and advertised versions of Cosmic Avenger for both the Atari 2600 and Intellivision, but neither was released for unknown reasons. The original arcade release of Cosmic Avenger did not become a hit, but found success and a larger audience as one of the launch titles for ColecoVision, like some of the lesser-known arcade games that gained popularity on the console such as Universal's Ladybug. The ColecoVision version of Cosmic Avenger was reviewed in Video Magazine in its Arcade Alley column, where it was described as great fun and as a game that packs more than enough excitement in its 3 screens to satisfy any lover of arcade-style action games. Although reviewers noted that the game is not as free-ranging, as in which the ship can scroll left as well as right, it was praised for its beautiful graphics, and it was suggested that Cosmic Avenger might herald the coming of a scrolling shootout trend in home video games. In September 1982, Arcade Express reviewed the ColecoVision version and scored it 9 out of 10. Creative Computing Video and Arcade Games said in 1983 that although Cosmic Avenger was not terribly popular in the arcades, Coleco's adaptation will do well in the home market and a nice addition to the console's library. You can download a remake for Android devices from the link in the video description.